Capricorn, some messages don't arrive in envelopes. They arrive in the way the air feels different on a certain morning. They arrive in the way your heart beats faster for no reason. They arrive in the quiet pull you feel toward a moment you can't yet see. For years, something has been gathering in the shadows of your life, slowly, patiently, like a letter that's been sealed with your name on it, waiting for the day you'd be strong enough to open it. This is that day. This is that letter. And the ink was written by destiny itself. You've walked through seasons where the answers never came, through days where you wondered if life had overlooked you entirely. But what you didn't know was that every delay was a hidden alignment. Every silence was a sacred preparation. Tonight, the seal breaks. The words you've been unconsciously waiting for your whole life are here. Not by accident, not by chance. This is your appointment with truth. Before we step into it, I want you to write 3 words in the comments as your declaration. I am ready. Because when this message takes root in you, it won't just change your day, it will change the way you see every day that came before it. Stay until the very last word, because what's ahead will not just explain the past, it will open a door you didn't know was already standing in front of you. The weight you've been carrying. Capricorn, there is a certain kind of strength that no one teaches you, the kind that is born when life gives you no other option. From an early age, you learned how to stand when the ground beneath you was breaking. You learned how to smile when your heart was heavy, how to say I'm fine when no one would have known what to do if you told them the truth. You have carried the weight of other people's fears, their failures, their unfinished battles. You've been the bridge for people who were sinking. You've been the shelter when storms raged over someone else's life. And even when your own spirit trembled, you stood firm because you couldn't bear to see others fall. But deep inside, there have been nights when you lay awake, staring at the ceiling, wondering, when will it be my turn? When will someone see past my strength and notice my exhaustion? When will someone take the weight out of my hands and say, rest, I've got you? You've been the one who fixes the broken pieces, who finds a way where there seems to be none. You've been the encourager, the quiet builder, the voice of reason when chaos surrounds. But in doing so, you've often hidden the parts of you that were cracking, afraid that if anyone saw them, they would stop leaning on you, and then everything might fall apart. Yet even in your most silent, unseen moments, something deep in your spirit kept whispering, don't give up, this won't be for nothing. That whisper was not your imagination. It was the truth trying to reach you through the noise of the world. It was the confirmation that you were not just surviving random trials, you were being prepared for something that required this depth of strength. Every delay in your life has been a chiseling process, shaping you into someone who could hold blessings that might have crushed a weaker foundation. Every time you felt abandoned, you were in fact being cleared of distractions so that your focus could remain pure for what was coming. Every time you had to pick yourself up without applause, you were being taught how to stand without needing the approval of the crowd. You have not walked this far to receive something small. Your story has not been about short-term victories or quick comforts. It has been about building a life that is unshakable. A life that will not collapse under the weight of the greatness that is about to enter it. The reason it has felt so heavy is because what you're about to carry next is not ordinary. It is layered with meaning, with responsibility, with impact far beyond your own world. And the only way to prepare you for that was to let you feel the weight of worlds that didn't belong to you, so that when yours finally arrives, you will know how to hold it with wisdom, grace, and unshakable faith. This is that moment, Capricorn. The reason is about to reveal itself. Everything is about to shift. And this time, the weight you carry will not be someone else's burden. It will be the crown you've earned. The long silence before the answer. Capricorn, there is a kind of silence that is not empty but full of hidden movements, full of quiet construction, full of answers that are not yet ready to be revealed. It's not the silence of abandonment, it's the silence of preparation. You've been living in that kind of silence. A season where the phone barely rings, where the opportunities seem slow, where the pace of life feels too still for your restless heart. And you've asked yourself, why does it feel like nothing is happening? From the outside, some people have assumed they know your story. They saw your stillness and mistook it for defeat. They saw your pause and thought it meant you were lost. They judged your quiet days as a sign that your life had stopped moving forward. But what they couldn't see was what the silence was doing for you. In that hidden space, something sacred was unfolding. The universe, or perhaps more accurately, the divine hand that writes your life, was protecting you from being exposed too soon. It was keeping you out of reach from the voices that would have weakened your belief. It was shielding you from people who might have planted seeds of doubt before your roots were strong enough to resist them. This silence was never an absence of progress. It was the kind of season where the most important growth happens underground. Like a seed buried deep in the soil, you were not visible, but you were alive. Your roots were pushing deeper, finding water, anchoring you for storms you didn't even know were coming. You were gathering strength in places the eye cannot see. That's why you may have felt invisible. That's why doors you knocked on didn't open. Because the timing wasn't just about opportunity, it was about readiness. Capricorn, you weren't stuck, you were hidden. Hidden until your strength could not be shaken by praise or crushed by criticism. Hidden until you learned to hear your own voice above the noise of the world. Hidden until the day when the silence would break, and when it did, it would be unmistakable. And now, that day is drawing near. Can't you feel it? The ground beneath you is not still anymore. There's a subtle trembling in your spirit, a sense that something is shifting. That's the signal, the same way the earth moves just before a seed breaks the surface. Everything that has been buried in your heart, the dreams, the visions, the deep knowing that you were meant for more, is about to emerge. And when it does, the same people who thought nothing was happening will be the ones to say, "How did this happen so fast?" But you will know the truth. It didn't happen fast. It happened silently. It happened in the unseen. It happened because you endured the long, sacred silence before the answer. Capricorn, here it is. The message your soul has been reaching for since the day you first wondered why life took you the long way around. You were never behind. You were never late. You were being positioned. Every single delay that frustrated you was not a closed door. It was a carefully placed detour. It wasn't punishment. It was protection. You thought you were standing still, but in truth, you were being moved into perfect alignment with a moment that could not come too soon and could not arrive too late. Everything you thought was a loss was never really taken from you. It was being replaced with something that matched who you were becoming. Those missed chances you grieved over, they would have locked you into a smaller life than the one you are now ready to hold. Those friendships or relationships that ended, they were chapters that had to close so the story could continue. And every no you received along the way, it wasn't rejection, it was an answer. Just not the one you were expecting. It was life saying, not this door, not this path, not this time. Because the right door, the right path, and the right timing would not require you to shrink yourself to fit inside. Even your tears, the ones you shed alone when no one saw the weight you were carrying, were not signs of weakness. They were proof that your heart stayed alive when life tried to harden it. They were evidence that no matter how many times you were disappointed, you refused to stop feeling. And that is why you are still capable of receiving what's coming, because you kept your spirit open when it would have been easier to close it. Your waiting has not been wasted. It has been the soil for the most important seeds you've ever planted. And in the coming days, something will break through that soil. Something that will make you stop in your tracks and say, "This is it. This is what I've been waiting for. This is why it all had to happen exactly this way." It may come as a sudden opportunity that aligns perfectly with your deepest dreams. It may arrive as a connection, the right person, the right partner, the right voice at the right time. Someone who shifts your direction in ways you never imagined. Or it may be an inner awakening, the kind of healing that makes you look in the mirror and finally feel whole again. Whatever form it takes, Capricorn, it will be unmistakable. You will know. You will feel it in the way your chest loosens after years of tension. You will hear it in the quiet peace that says you've arrived. And you will never again question whether the waiting was worth it. Because you will see that the waiting was the very thing that made you ready to receive it. The shift in your spirit, Capricorn, something inside you has already changed, hasn't it? You can't quite explain it, but you feel it in the way your thoughts linger on possibilities you once doubted you could reach. You notice it in the way you no longer cling to things that once kept you up at night. There's been a quiet turning, a rearranging of the pieces inside your heart, as if something in you has stepped forward, while the old version of you has quietly stepped back. Your dreams have been louder lately, not just the ones that come in your sleep, but the ones that rise uninvited while you're awake. They don't feel like fantasies anymore. They feel like previews. You've started to sense that what you've been picturing is closer than you thought. And your instincts, they've sharpened. The hesitation you once carried is giving way to a steady knowing, the kind that doesn't shout, but speaks with quiet authority. There's this strange blend of emotions flowing through you, a restlessness that makes you want to move and a peace that keeps you grounded. It's like standing at the shore before a great wave comes in. You can feel the pull of the water and the wind, yet you're not afraid. Somewhere inside, you know you're standing on the threshold of something significant. Capricorn, this is not a passing mood. It's your spirit preparing you. The change you feel is a sign that your inner life is getting ready for what your outer life has yet to reveal. Because when the doors open, and they will, you won't have the luxury of hesitation. You won't be able to stop and question if you deserve it or if the timing is right. You'll have to walk through with the certainty that you belong there. This shift you feel is not in your imagination. It's the deep recognition that the person who once carried your old story, the story of struggle, waiting, and second-guessing, no longer exists. You've shed that skin without even realizing it. And in its place stands someone unshakable, someone who has learned how to trust their steps even when the path isn't fully visible. It's in the way you speak now with more conviction. It's in the way you make choices, guided less by fear and more by alignment. It's in the way you no longer chase what was never yours, but remain open for what is truly meant to find you. This is not just growth. This is transformation. It's the invisible bridge between who you were and who you are becoming. And once you cross it, there's no going back. You are ready, Capricorn. Ready in a way that doesn't need constant proof. Ready in a way that trusts the timing without forcing it. And when the moment comes, when the thing you've been waiting for appears, you will not hesitate. Because this shift has already told you it's yours. The people who couldn't come with you. Capricorn, let's speak the truth plainly. Not everyone who started this journey with you will be standing beside you when you arrive at your destination. Some people you thought would be part of your forever didn't make it into your next chapter. And yes, it hurt. It confused you. It made you question whether you had done something wrong, or whether you were somehow unworthy of lasting love, friendship, or loyalty. There were nights you replayed conversations in your head, wondering what you could have said differently. Days when you scrolled through memories, searching for the exact moment things began to fade. And in your heart, you believed that losing them meant losing a part of yourself. Because you had woven them into your dreams, into your vision of the future. But here's the truth, that time and wisdom have been quietly teaching you. If they had stayed, they would have delayed you. They were not built for the path you were meant to walk. Not because they were bad people, but because their presence would have kept you at a level you were never meant to remain in. Some of them loved you, but they loved you in the way that was comfortable for them. not in the way that would allow you to grow. Some of them needed you, but they needed you in ways that drained you, leaving you too tired to take care of your own calling. Some of them could not see your worth beyond what you did for them, and your destiny was never meant to fit in the hands of those who could not hold it with care. Capricorn, you may not have realized it at the time, but their exit was your protection. It was life's way of clearing the path so that the weight of someone else's doubt or fear would not slow you down. Because the road you are on now requires you to travel light, to carry only what strengthens you, not what weakens you. And yes, the emptiness they left behind was real. You felt it in your chest. You felt it in the spaces where their voice used to be, in the moments where you instinctively reached for your phone to tell them something and remembered they were no longer there. But what you may not fully see yet is that this emptiness is not a permanent wound. It is a space, and that space is sacred. It is the exact space that will now be filled with what you truly deserve. People who see you for who you are, not just for what you give. People who are not intimidated by your growth, but inspired by it. People who stand beside you not only in celebration, but also in the quiet, ordinary days when life isn't glamorous. You are entering a chapter where the people around you will not compete with your light, but help it shine brighter. Where love will not be lopsided, and loyalty will not need to be begged for. And when you look back on the ones who couldn't come with you, you will no longer feel bitterness, only gratitude, because their absence made room for your abundance. The door is open. Capricorn, I want you to close your eyes for a moment and see it clearly in your mind. A door. It's not ordinary. It's tall, strong, carved with patterns that almost seem to move when the light touches them. You've seen this door before, though maybe only in your dreams or in the quiet corners of your imagination. It's been in front of you for years, and yet it's always been locked. You've knocked on it before, once, twice, too many times to count. You've stood in front of it in hope, in frustration, in tears. You've pressed your ear against it, listening for any sound, any sign that someone on the other side could hear you. But every time, there was only silence. And after a while, you wondered if maybe it wasn't even your door to open. But today, something changes. Today you hear a sound you've never heard before, the soft, clear click of a lock turning from the inside. You freeze for a moment, almost afraid to believe it's real. But then you feel it, that unmistakable shift in the air, like a fresh wind moving through a still room. The energy around you stirs, and it's as if the world itself is whispering, "It's time." Your hand reaches out, and as your fingers wrap around the handle, it's warm. Not from the sun, but from the life waiting on the other side. You push the door open, and the light that pours through is so bright you have to blink against it. It's not the kind of light that burns your eyes. It's the kind that wakes your soul. And in that instant, you realize this was never just a door. It was a passage, a threshold between the life you've known and the life you were born to live. Every step you've taken, even the ones that felt like they were going in the wrong direction, have been leading you here. Every detour, every disappointment, every delay, they weren't stopping you, they were aligning you. They were making sure that when you finally stood here, you would be ready to walk through without looking back. Capricorn, the door is not just open, it's yours. It was always yours. But sometimes the lock doesn't turn until you've grown into the person who can hold what's on the other side without losing yourself. What awaits you now is more than an opportunity. It's an environment where your gifts will not just be seen, but celebrated. It's a place where the pace of life matches the rhythm of your soul. It's a chapter that doesn't require you to fight for your seat at the table, because the table was built with you in mind. The message you've been waiting for? It's simple, but it carries the weight of everything you've endured to get here. It's your time. Walk through. Don't stand in the doorway wondering if you should go back. Don't let the echoes of old fears make you hesitate. This is the moment your life shifts from waiting to living, and the only thing left for you to do is step inside. It was always for you. Capricorn, this was not just another message in a sea of words. This was not a random moment you stumbled into by chance. This was your confirmation, the sign your soul has been quietly searching for. The echo that tells you everything you've been sensing was real. You were guided here, step by step, decision by decision, through every twist and turn that shaped your journey. You were meant to hear this now, not a week ago, not a year ago, but at this exact moment, because only now are you ready to receive it in full. There are no coincidences in the way truth finds you. It waits for the moment your heart is open enough to take it in without fear and without doubt. Capricorn, you have been carrying a question in your spirit for a long time. A question about why things happened the way they did, why some dreams seemed delayed, why some people had to leave, and why you've walked such a demanding road. And today, that question has its answer. It was never punishment. It was preparation. It was positioning. You have waited your whole life for this season to begin. You've fought battles most people will never know about. You've picked yourself up after falls that would have broken others completely. And now, you stand on ground you have earned, ground that was always meant to hold your feet. The truth is, it was always for you. Every closed door that pushed you forward, every ending that cleared the space for something greater, every delay that forced you to grow in strength and wisdom before receiving what you were asking for, it was all pointing you here. And now you know, there is nothing missing, nothing lost. Only the right things, in the right time, finding their way into your life exactly as they were meant to. Before you go, I want you to type it one more time in the comments as a declaration, as a seal on this moment. I am ready. Say it as if you believe it. Say it knowing that from this point forward, you no longer wait in uncertainty, you wait in confidence, because you are ready. Your time has come, your season is here, and the story you are about to live will make everything you've been through make sense. Stay connected here, because we are walking this journey together. And as we do, you will see with your own eyes what your spirit already knows. Your life is not ending, it is unfolding. This is not the conclusion, it is the beginning, and the best chapters are still to come.